Hi, I'm Jack Black.
I'm Kyle Gass.
And you're listening to Tenacious D on Heavy Consequence on Consequence of Sound.
Tomorrow is actually the 20th anniversary of the eponymous debut, but today is the 30th anniversary of Nirvana's Nevermind. And I wanted to talk to you, two legendary albums, but in your humble opinion, which of the two albums had the greater impact on rock music?
Without a doubt, Nirvana. Because I remember that thing exploded like an atom bomb. I remember where I was when I saw the video.
Nirvana simultaneously created a genre and destroyed a genre with one powerful album. It was kind of like, what is the biblical tale where someone throws a rock and it shatters maybe it's not biblical, maybe it's a Greek myth with the guy that throws the rock and it cracks the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
That's what Nirvana was.
So the vote goes to Nirvana over yourself?
I'm going to say, unfortunately.
I'm going to humbly give the trophy to Nirvana. And we were
a close fourth, I think, in terms of.
I mean, I was heavily influenced by Nirvana. I don't know, Kyle, would you say the same is true of you, or I feel like you were maybe less so?
Probably a light sprinkling, but I think everybody was. I mean, once you heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit," you were never the same in the rock milieu.
But when we were first starting out, just like jamming, before we were a band, before HBO or any of that stuff, when we were just like hanging and rocking, I told you about Nirvana. But it was like powerful and like the best thing to hit rock and roll in many years. But yeah, it came with a kind of like a self-destructo energy. That
yeah,
you can see the way that he launched himself into the audience when he did his.
Yeah, he did not care.
There was like, really, I give two shits if he lived or died.
No, for the rock.
That was what was so glorious about it. It was the best concert I ever saw in 1991.
Wow.
Oh shit, I was there. 1991, San Francisco. And then little did I know, 10 years later, we would be fucking rocking with that drummer that you got right there, Kurt Cobain, 10 years from now. Isn't that fucking crazy?
And I want to get to Dave Grohl.
And then Cage, remember when we played San Francisco and we played the same venue and they gave us some.
They gave us the robes.
You got the
famous robes.
You got the framed photo of Nirvana at backstage in their robes.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to reminisce, but that's what happens on these anniversaries. You start to reminisce.
Yeah. And of course, the masterful Dave Grohl, who we mentioned earlier. And just, can you talk about, I mean, what he's meant to you guys as a friend, as a collaborator, and just, kind of the legacy he's put forth between Nirvana and Foo Fighters and what he's meant to the rock world?
Well, I've never gotten over it. I still can't believe that we got him on our very first record and that he rocked on all our songs. It's just because I ended up being a huge Nirvana fan and Dave Grohl fan, and there he was, and then he would play on all the rest of the albums. So it's almost surreal. I can't even. It's hard to process, but God love him.
Here's the thing about Dave Grohl. My first entree to Dave with most of the rest of the world was Nirvana. He was in a band before that, Scream and some other projects, but I saw Nirvana in 91. It was the best concert I'd ever seen. Who's that drummer? That's the best drumming. It was no question. He's the best drummer alive right now. Too exciting. The fucking thunder that came out of his kit was second to none. And then he fucking somehow popped his head through the curtain when we were playing the Viper Room in the early 90s and was like, hey, I heard you guys are great. Looking forward to checking you guys out. Have a good show tonight. And from that moment on, we were.
Yeah.
It was another fucking crazy lucky break where he took a shine to us, and we were like, we didn't even want to ask him to play drums for us on that first album because it just seems too stupid a question.
Why would you want to?
The Dust Brothers actually convinced us. Are you fucking crazy? He said he liked you. You were gonna try to get him on the album. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, you're right. And then he was like, fuck, I'm kind of busy, but I could come down and do a couple songs. And we're like, yeah, come down and do a couple songs. And he came down, and we just sort of locked the door when he got in. I was like, it's gonna be so fast, dude, so fast, real quick. We'll just do, and he's such a sweet guy that he just stayed and just knocked out the whole album in one, I'm gonna say half day. He blasted it out, and it was
no click. The tempos were set.
Yeah, but like I saw him in '91, the best thing ever, and then Nirvana was over when me and Kyle were like in the workshop just trying to create our jams. And I remember thinking, well, that's supposed to be the end of everyone involved in Nirvana, because that's what usually happens if you're in like one of the best bands of all time, is like when it's over, it's over. But he, against all odds, was like, no, I gotta. And when I first heard the Foo Fighters, I was like, wait, that's got some fucking magic to it. Wait, there's like a whole different kind of pixie dust magic on that track. I think it was fingernails are pretty, fingernails again. It was like, whoa. Wait a second, he came up with that melody?
Yeah.
And it was a new,
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
different sound from Nirvana, but every bit is,
deserving.
And then he fucking had one of the most incredible second acts in rock and roll history. And then he fucking played on Tenacious D album. Yeah. What else is there to say?
Really?
It's really just as simple as a 1, 2, 3.